Hello, I'm Todd Phillips, the editor of Canadian Auto Dealer. We're here today with Glen Demetrioff, the president and CEO of Rapid RTC, a company many dealers may have come to know in the lead management and lead response space, providing a technology support to dealers. In the midst of this pandemic, I guess the company has launched a new product, Live Dealer. So, Glen, thanks for joining us today.
Todd, it's a pleasure to be here, and I must admire your guitars in the back there. So, obviously, a fan.
Well, thanks. I just moved recently, so I had to reposition them for this new video. So you're the first to be videoed in my new house. So thanks for that. So
No problem. No problem.
So tell us a bit about the timing of the platform, and maybe a little bit about how it works. Obviously, dealerships are all adapting, in the midst of the pandemic and coming into the recovery to new tools, new capabilities. And it seems as though this particular tool fits really well into the sweet spot of what dealers are looking for. So tell us a bit about it.
Sure. I think Live Dealer, and specifically what was inspired by this product, was to enable a salesperson to capture a customer while they're on the top of the purchase funnel, really by browsing a top tier domain website while that customer, as we call, flirting with different brands. It's at that location where customers are they're not sure who they're going to go with, what brand they're going to actually engage with, but they do have questions. And what we found is that technology exists, and I should back up. This product was made actually before COVID. It was almost a year ago when we actually had beta testing and prototyping in place. But what we saw is that even though there's a lot of video conferencing solutions out there, customers wanted to be able to feel and touch the product, but they wanted to do it in an anonymous state. And the problem with video conferencing products is that you need to have a relationship before you can engage in that product platform. So you'd need an email address or phone number before you could actually send them the invite to engage. So we thought, well, how do we engage them into this type of platform, into this type of medium, without requiring them to have an invite ahead of time? And that's how this product was really born. Just like chat, which is anonymous, I don't have to give any information to have a chat conversation with a salesperson or dealership. I would want the same type of luxury if now I want to have a more fully immersive experience, such as video or voice. And that's where really the design and thoughts behind this product came into play. And it's been extremely well received, especially now, call it, I don't know, perfect timing to have the product ready as close as it was, and then now to be introduced into this, obviously with the COVID situation. This is exactly what customers want and dealers want. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, the other thing I understand about it is the consumer can enable just voice, only one-way video or two-way video. So it has that capability where they're still in control of that. Is that correct?
That's correct. So, consider yourself as you were, slowly engaging with a product or a service. You would, ask a couple questions, a rapport would be built, you'd gain some trust. And from that trust, you might want to open up a voice channel. And once that voice channel is open, more trust is being built. And at that point, you might want to augment it with video, one way or two way. You might also want to now share information that's on your screen with the customer. So we call it really this journey of basically building trust. And as that customer starts from the top navigation of a website, starts building, again, dialogue with a salesperson, which is key to our product and our beliefs, that trust builds onto more information being exchanged and in a much more efficient way, such as voice and video.
It's interesting because some digital retailing platforms are completely self-serve, but some are evolving into this sort of hybrid model as well, where it's a digital retailing experience, but an assisted one with chat, with a real human being there to help navigate you through. So it sounds like it can assist that process as well for digital shoppers.
Yes, for sure. The advantage of chat onto any website, of course, is being able to engage with salespeople. Our philosophy from day one is that we don't want agents, we don't want bots, we don't want anything other than salespeople as much as possible talking to customers. And again, I've come from the dealership world. I worked retail for many years in a store in Winnipeg. And to me, an opportunity that walked through the door or an opportunity that came to me in a digital fashion was very high priority. But if I was sitting in the showroom, that showroom customer would come first. But if I was not busy in the showroom, I'd want to be talking to customers. So our philosophy with chat is if that salesperson is not busy on the showroom floor, let's feed them opportunities so they can engage and actually have a conversation. That is really our premise of connecting customer to buyer, buyer to salesperson, because we want a seller, because we want those connections to actually happen. And the best person to make that sale is the salesperson. So digital retailing, going back to kind of your talk track, digital retailing is great, but customers have so many questions. They want to know, elements of inventory, delivery, all the elements of how it takes to purchase a vehicle, now being thrust online. Well, what better way of doing that than through either through a chat or through a voice discussion or even through video. So.
Well, that's great, Glenn. Well, you mentioned earlier that, it's been well received by dealers. What else are you hearing from dealers out there as they're adapting to the new reality, the new way of selling online and integrating these tools? What's the word out there from dealers as they're in the recovery right now?
Todd, I think in general, dealers are viewing this as an opportunity. While for sure there was a lot of unknown when this hit in March and April, and there was a lot of panic. And we were as well as a supplier in this industry, because we didn't know what's going to happen. But as things are starting to open up, dealers are viewing this as this catalyst of maybe it's time for a way of changing the way we do business today. And I think that openness and that willingness to try to modernize that sales process is what we see as kind of an overarching opinion that's from dealer to dealer. That's why I think when you look at our products and where our services lie, which is in the communication space, we have such a large uptick right now of interest, because that's what dealers feel is required for the next step. And it's not a matter of this is going to pass after 2 weeks or a month or 4 months or whatever. This is going to now continue. It's not going to be a short-term fix. It's going to be a long-term way of how to do business differently. And that's how we're embracing it. And we got to walk before we run, and we still have many challenges in front of us because of COVID and the downturn. But consumers still need vehicles. Dealers want to sell vehicles, and we want to be able to empower both those parties to get together and ensure that they have a great exchange of information and have an awesome experience.
Well, I interviewed one of your Winnipeg-based dealers, Steve Chipman, and he basically said it's like we've been fast-forwarded into the future with this. It's stuff that we were starting to work on, should have been working on, and now we're just there in the future. So I guess it'll be interesting to see how everyone kind of embraces the new tools. I wanted to ask you just one more question really about the company itself. I mean, I came across you many years ago sort of in the lead space, and you still are obviously very big in the lead generation and providing the tools to salespeople to help, digitize the e-lead handling. But the company has grown tremendously since I first came across you. Maybe tell us a bit about the growth and where the company sits. It's a good Canadian success story. So let's hear a little bit about that.
Great. Thanks for asking. The company's been on a very healthy growth trajectory over the last several years. My wife and I started the company back in 1996, and with 2 of us, and now we're just shy of 300 people. So it's had a great run. But I think the secret to our success is that we really understand certain segments of the business and the certain segments of technology that help, empower that segment of business, being lead management, being chat. And as you can see from our roadmap in Winnipeg and how far we've expanded to, we now are in France, we're in the UK, we have a small footprint in the US as well. We find that the process of how to acquire a vehicle really is not fundamentally different in all these different countries we work in. People want great customer service. Customers want to be responded to quickly. Salespeople want to engage with those customers in a professional way. That is universal across really every country that we embark on. So to me, by having that product and having that commitment to what we're trying to achieve as a DNA element of our mission, well, our success is again being duplicated in the UK, where we had 2-3 dealers in pilot. Now we have over 1,000 dealers in that market. France, we started again with 3 or 4 pilot. We have about 150 dealers now in France. Again, growth market for us, just getting our feet wet there. But again, the universal applicability of our product of customer service first and connecting buyer to seller is really what has really propelled this company to where we are today.
Well, great. Sounds like Rapid RTC has had rapid growth, so that's always good to see. We love, as I say, good Canadian success stories, particularly companies that are there helping dealers land more sales. It's going to be a tricky recovery. It's going to take a while for dealers to get back to the levels they were at before, and they're going to need all the tools and the process they can get. And so, thanks for being a part of that.
No problem, Todd. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk.
Okay, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks.
Signing off.